What if I told you that there is a lonely hill where every man who accepts a beautiful bride's invitation disappears forever? And the most terrifying part is that nobody has ever found a single body. This is the chilling legend of the ghost bride of Raven Hill. So turn off the lights, stay close, and listen carefully, because some stories should never be forgotten. Long ago, on the edge of a quiet village, there stood Raven Hill, a place covered in thick fog, twisted trees, and broken gravestones. During the day, it looked abandoned, but after midnight, strange lights could be seen dancing across the hill. The villagers believed an ancient spirit lived there, and everyone was warned to stay away. They called her the Ghost Bride. According to the old stories, she appeared wearing a beautiful white wedding dress that looked untouched by time. Her long black hair flowed in the cold wind, and her pale face carried a gentle smile that seemed kind at first. But anyone who looked into her empty eyes for too long felt an icy fear deep inside. One cold autumn evening, a young traveler named Daniel arrived at the village just before sunset. He was tired after walking for many days and asked for a place to rest. The villagers welcomed him, but they also gave him one warning. "Whatever you hear tonight," the village elder said, "never climb Raven Hill." Daniel smiled politely. He did not believe in ghosts or old legends. After dinner, while everyone locked their doors, Daniel looked out of the window. Far away on Raven Hill, he noticed a bright white figure standing among the fog. It looked like a woman holding a lantern. Curious, he grabbed his coat and quietly left the house. As he walked toward the hill, the air became colder with every step. The sounds of insects disappeared. Even the wind stopped blowing. Only silence surrounded him. When he reached the top of Raven Hill, the woman slowly turned toward him. She was more beautiful than anyone he had ever seen. Her wedding dress shimmered under the moonlight, and she smiled warmly. "I've been waiting for you," she whispered softly. Daniel felt strangely calm. It was as if her voice erased every fear from his mind. She reached out her hand and invited him to follow her. Together they walked through the thick fog until they reached an old stone church that should not have existed. Candles glowed inside, and soft music echoed through the empty building. Rows of silent guests sat on wooden benches with their heads lowered. Daniel noticed something strange. None of the guests were moving. Their skin looked gray. Their clothes were covered in dust, and their empty eye sockets stared straight ahead. Before Daniel could step back, the church doors slammed shut behind him. The ghost bride smiled again, but this time her face slowly changed. Her skin cracked like dry stone. Her smile stretched wider than any human mouth, and her glowing eyes became completely black. "The wedding must begin," she whispered. Suddenly, the silent guests lifted their heads at the same time. Their dry bones creaked as they stood up together. They began walking toward Daniel with slow, uneven steps. Terrified, he ran toward the church doors, but they would not open. He searched desperately until he noticed an old wooden cross lying on the floor beneath a broken bench. Without thinking, he picked it up and held it tightly. The moment the cross faced the ghost bride, she screamed with a voice so loud that the entire church shook. The candles went out, the walls cracked, and the ghostly guests vanished into clouds of black smoke. Daniel rushed outside as the mysterious church crumbled into dust behind him. He ran all the way back to the village without looking back once. When the villagers found him at sunrise, his hair had turned completely white from fear. He could barely speak, but he managed to whisper only 4 words. "She's still waiting." Years passed, but nobody ever saw Daniel smile again. Every night he locked every window and never looked toward Raven Hill. The villagers say that on cold, foggy nights, the ghost bride still stands at the top of the hill, holding her lantern, patiently waiting for the next lonely traveler to accept her invitation. Some people claim they can still hear distant wedding bells echoing through the darkness, followed by the soft whisper of a bride asking, "Will you stay with me forever?" And if you ever find yourself walking alone at night and see a beautiful woman in a white wedding dress smiling from a foggy hill, remember the legend of Raven Hill, because not every invitation is meant to be accepted. If you enjoyed this scary story, don't forget to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and turn on the notification bell for more chilling horror stories every week. Sleep carefully, because tonight, someone may be waiting just outside the fog.